Hello again. Well, we're ready to continue with the next chapter. I ended up splitting what was one video recording of both chapter 2 and 3 and decided it was too long when I started downloading it. So, now that we've seen in chapter 2 that Don finally has a place to live after being kicked out of the house by his wife, more or less, and something very strange happened to him, a very odd thing. So we're going to see more about that as time goes by. Right now, with a little bit different t-shirt and a slight little hiccup between now and in the next few moments, let's continue with chapter 3. At least the electricity still worked. With new age music playing on the Santa Fe station on his stereo, Don dusted off the top layer of the mattress. He then realized three things. First, there was probably another 15 pounds of dust soaked into the mattress beyond any chance of removal. Second, there were obvious stains on it from a rain leak matching stain patterns on the bare sheetrock ceiling directly above. Good thing the summer monsoons haven't started, Don told the mattress and ceiling. Third, he'd always theorized he was allergic to pedigreed New Mexico dust. Several quick sneezes and a runny nose confirmed it. Actually, there was a fourth thing he realized. He hadn't packed any sheets or blankets in his efforts to erase his existence from Bess's house. It took about a dozen shirts to cover the naked mattress, plus a treasured Mexican poncho bought in his college days on a trip to Juarez to serve as a somewhat heavy top sheet. The water pump seemed to work, though it coughed and sputtered bouillon-looking liquid for at least 10 minutes before he could drink. It tasted like warm rocks, but that was typical of Rio Luna well water. Once he washed up with a bit of old soap the artist had left behind, he realized his towels were with the sheets and blankets. At least he found comfort when he remembered a Walmart had opened up west of Rio Luna a year or so earlier. Tomorrow he would cheaply obtain the forgotten supplies. He couldn't concentrate enough to read, so about midnight he turned off the light, knowing full well he would lie there for about 3 hours before sleep could sneak up on him. Sleazeballs and naked Besses pulsated through his brain until he screamed profanities no one could hear, since he was over a quarter of a mile from any human beings. Damn it, brain, shut off. Forget it. More profanities, some newly created for the occasion. Finally, he got up and wandered around trying to find his way outside while bumping into possessions that hadn't found a home yet and the odd piece of furniture he hadn't placed to his personal preference. There was no moon, so long shafts of feeble starlight revealed the windows and door. Outside it wasn't much better. The cottonwood dominated the sky, each light leaf holding its breath, so not a single ripple betrayed its presence. The sound of rustling leaves and a breeze might have allowed Don to drift off to sleep, but no such luck tonight. Restless, he looked south and noticed a few pinpoints of light marking scattered farm homes. One of those lights belonged to a cousin in her family. He had fond memories of her 11-year-old daughter with whom he had felt an attachment, much like the child he had never had. But he couldn't deal with that. He didn't want involvement with anyone right now, especially family. Feeling the oppression of the cottonwood and old memories, Don looked up and sucked in his breath. Oh, my God, the stars, he said aloud. How long have I been a prisoner of street light-soaked nights? There were so many. It must be an illusion of dust particles floating in my eyes. He found this all very therapeutic. No Bess, no thoughts of finances, no dusty adobe house, no need for a beard, no feeling of pointlessness. Just wonder at how much there was in creation, the universe, the heavens. And here he was looking at it, feeling not infinitesimal, but a part of the all of existence. It could have been 2 minutes or 2 hours, even 2 lifetimes. But at some point, Don, no longer just Don, was pushed by the beginnings of a soft breeze back into the house, into bed, under the no longer heavy poncho, and into a welcome unconsciousness that lasted until the sun was up in the mid-morning sky. At some point in the night he had taken off his shorts, and so emerged from the bed newly born, ready to put off on the clothes of a new life. It was Sunday, so he had the day to put the adobe house, which he had decided in his euphoric mood to call his casita, to rights. I can either piss on the walls to make it mine or redecorate. Choosing the latter, he adorned his casita with the rock concert and poetry reading posters of his past, while setting up the shelves of books he never read anymore. But they were the required library of an English instructor. The stereo, unloaded the night before, was better positioned, and clothes were stuffed into the oddly square-shaped closet. And in a flurry of activity, everything that was part of the hut was dusted, cleaned, or thrown out. There was no garbage service, just a rusty 55-gallon barrel to periodically carry off to the landfill west of Rio Luna. Meanwhile, Don started a growing list of items to be purchased at the local Smith's grocery store and aforementioned Walmart. Bess is gonna crap green weenies when she sees the checks I'm writing, he thought. The money could last a couple of months before I have to resort to my own meager earnings. The check-to-check existence, keeping closer to reality, the edge of bankruptcy, cutting corners. It's like being young again. Don hadn't talked to himself much before, and it was great rediscovering his little unknown personal quirks and predilections. Things hidden under orders of silence around Bess, things drowned in booze, things denied even to himself in the dark hours before dawn, when waking up with thoughts that he would die someday. Then who would give a shit whether he had lived or not? Maybe he wouldn't even give a shit, but he wanted to give a shit, always and forever. Some of that was unsettling to him, but somehow acceptable, because all he had to do was say, "Hey, it's okay, Don, I understand, even if no one else cares. I do, and maybe even God cares. I mean, look at the show that goes on up there every night in creation. Creation. Now that was a novelty. Don hadn't thought about or said God and really meant God in a long time. It was just a word he said when something startled him. That view of one little corner of creation had startled him the night before, and he thought God, and really meant it. But now, making up his shopping list, it struck him consciously. Last night was a bonding with the all, no comment or language needed. Daylight needed language. The shopping list required simple, concrete nouns, the realities of life, and God was a part of that too. The old-time religion. It was Sunday, and that always meant church when he was a kid. I've been harping on being young again, so I guess I better get ready and do my shopping after church. Driving into town, he stopped at the first church he saw, which turned out to be a small, non-denominational congregation housed in an old converted saloon. They welcomed him as if they had known him all his life. The preaching was a bit fundamental, but the parallels to the previous night's sky experiences kept Don entranced. Once he had wiggled out of offers for Sunday lunch of fried chicken, he made his shopping rounds. The day had come to an end all too quickly, and only upon turning off the light did Don remember he had classes tomorrow morning. It seemed centuries since he had left the school Friday afternoon. Finally, remembering that the term had just ended and he had about a week before the grind started all over again, he relaxed and drifted off to sleep. Had it been only 20 minutes, or was it now around 4 a.m.? There was a sound he had heard in the darkness when he had nearly crashed into the cottonwood tree. But now it was silent. Still half asleep, he started to drift off once more. Then it came again, and now he could identify it. Leather wings flapping, solid whapping, not the wheezy, whistling sound of feathers. Leather, skin. A bat. Well, that's all for now. We'll continue the next time. Bye.